They hold something big inside, a dream, a plan, or an idea that matters. Sometimes it is a school assignment, a project, or something they want to try for the first time. Their mind lights up with possibilities, but even when the door is open, they hesitate. What if they make a mistake? What if things do not go well? Their mind starts asking questions. What if I fail? Will people think I am not smart? Will it make me look small? That fear grows quietly at first, then louder. It turns dreams into maybe later. It turns ideas into too risky. For many INTPs, fear of failure can feel like a shadow that follows them, even when they want to create something brave. In this episode, we gently step into that challenge. We explore why failure feels so scary for someone who thinks deeply and cares quietly. We will hear about the hidden struggle between wanting to try and wanting to feel safe. We will walk through the question, when your mind is full of ideas, why is trying sometimes the hardest part? If you have ever held back, worried what others think, replayed a mistake in your head, or skipped something you wanted to do just to feel safe, that feeling is real. We will walk into that silent conflict with kindness, curiosity, and truth. Together, let us explore the heart behind the hesitation, the mind behind the worry, and how someone with a gentle, thoughtful mind can learn to step forward, even when fear stands close by. Inside the mind of an INTP, fear of failure feels different. It is not loud or sudden like a scream. It is quiet and steady, like a small worry that never stops. It lives in hidden corners, whispering thoughts like, what if I mess up? What if I cannot fix it? What if others think I am not good enough? This worry often comes from caring deeply about doing things well. They think slowly, plan carefully, and imagine all possible ways something could go wrong. While others may jump in and fix mistakes later, the INTP's mind slows down. It wants to feel sure before it begins. Many studies show that people who analyze things deeply also feel more worried about starting because they imagine many ways it could fail. They also compare their own careful mind to people who seem so easy and confident. A friend who finishes quickly. A classmate who gets perfect scores without much work. That can feel unfair. Inside, the INTP wonders, why do I take so long? Why am I not like them? Because they expect a lot from themselves, they often feel like failing means they are not smart. Making mistakes feels like proof their deep mind did not work. So they hold back, sometimes avoiding new projects, trying less, or giving up before they start. They would rather not try at all than feel the weight of being wrong. This fear changes how they act. They may choose small tasks they can finish quickly. They may stop when things feel too big or unclear. And they may stay silent about their dreams because silence feels safer than failure. Though this worry is hard, it comes from caring. It comes from a deep wish to do well. In this episode, we'll explore that hidden conflict, the wish to create, and the fear that stops them from trying. We will listen to the quiet voice that says, maybe it is not ready yet, and find out what it truly means to feel afraid of failing. Fear of failure lives quietly inside the INTP mind, often hidden beneath calm words. Their thoughts dive deep into every step before they act. They imagine many ways things could go wrong. What if they cannot finish? What if it looks silly? Their careful mind, guided by introverted thinking, watches and worries before doing. Deep thinkers are more aware of risks and often feel more afraid to start because they see so many ways plans could break. It is like standing at the edge of a pool, looking at the deep end. They want to jump in, but their mind lists what might go wrong. Will it be too cold? Will they know how to swim? Could others laugh at them? The water is a big idea they hold in their head, heavy with questions. They also feel pressure from comparison. They see classmates or friends who seem confident, who try and fail and try again. That seems easier. But their own cautious nature makes them slow. Their fear grows when they see others moving quickly. A study shows that deep thinkers feel more pressure when others succeed easily. Inside, an INTP may split into two voices. One says, try something new. Another says, do not risk failing. This inner tug becomes a quiet battle. They know they could learn from failure. A growth mindset shows that mistakes help people grow. But their inner self often fears losing respect, failing in front of others, and feeling like they are not smart. Because of this, INTP may quietly keep dreams small. They may decide not to share a big project or stop before the work even begins. They may even start late and stop early, a habit called self-handicapping, so that if things do not work out, they can say it is because they did not try fully. But this fear is not a flaw. It is part of their depth. Their mind is tuned to look ahead, notice problems, and plan carefully. It just needs help to turn that same skill toward hope, not just worry. Later in this episode, we will look at how they can step forward in spite of fear, and how they can learn to use their careful mind to build courage. In a science class, an INTP sees a project everyone gets excited about. Maybe it is building a simple bridge out of popsicle sticks. They know they could build something cool, but they start thinking about all the things that could go wrong. What if it breaks under weight? What if they do not have time? What if others laugh at it? Those thoughts swirl quietly in their head, so they choose a smaller task instead, like designing a drawing on paper. It is safe, but part of their excitement stays hidden. In a writing group, they have an idea for a story that shows how a small action can change someone's life. In their mind, the story glows with possibility. But when it is time to share, they feel afraid. What if someone says it is silly? What if it is not good enough? Their hands tremble. Their words feel heavy. They decide to wait until they feel ready. But the group moves on, and their idea stays inside the notebook. In a sports team tryout, they practice quietly before everyone else. They can do the moves well, maybe even better than most, but they worry about making mistakes in front of everyone. What if I miss my chance? What if people laugh? They decide not to try the hardest skills, sticking to something easy. They want to belong, but fear holds them back. On a computer coding assignment, they have an idea for a new feature. It is clever and could help others using the app. But half-formed doubts appear. What if it does not work? What if it breaks everything else? They imagine spending all night fixing bugs. They decide to hold off and keep the idea alone. The work happens without risk safe, but without spark. Sometimes they try, but only a little. A parent or teacher may ask, "Did you do your best?" They nod and try, but only to a point. In that way, if it is not perfect, they can say they did not try fully. It feels safe. But a part of them feels sad because their work never fully showed what they could do. We found real stories online. One parent wrote that their child always picks easy parts of projects and never shows the big ideas because they are too nervous. Another student said, "I always play it safe to avoid feeling dumb. These stories show this happens in many places: school, clubs, friends, home. But sometimes the fear turns into something helpful." In one interview, an INTP described being so careful when building the model that they ended up discovering a new way to strengthen it. Their fear of error led to focus and deep care. It was not the failure that mattered. It was what they learned by trying slowly and carefully. Every day, in classrooms, workshops, jobs, group activities, and even homes, These moments add up. Fear of failure keeps them from fully sharing their gifts. It makes them choose safe instead of brave. But it also fuels care, depth, planning, and learning. That is the hidden paradox of INTPs. Their fear can hold them back, but it also shapes who they are. Deep thinkers who want to get it right. The next part of this episode will explore how they can turn that careful mind into a source of strength instead of a block. Sometimes, when an INTP is afraid to fail, others think they just do not care or that they are lazy. But the real reason is deeper and often goes unseen. One hidden reason is called self-handicapping. This happens when a person does less effort on purpose so they can say, "It was not because I could not do it, I just did not try," if it does not go well. In classrooms and online forums, students may put off homework or choose easy tasks so failing does not mean they are not smart. Research shows many students do this when they worry a lot about what failure might mean Gwern.net. Another reason is fear of being judged. INTPs often worry that others will think they are not good enough or that they will disappoint people. This can make them avoid trying new things or sharing ideas, even if those ideas are really good. Because they expect a lot from themselves, even small mistakes feel big. They might think that a failed project shows they are not smart. That can hurt their confidence and make them want to protect themselves by staying quiet or stopping early. Over time, this can cause real harm. They may miss chances to learn or to make friends. They may feel stuck and sad even when they have great ideas. They may believe they are not good enough, and they may hide their true self to avoid feeling hurt again. But understanding why they act this way brings a way forward. It helps caring people to see that fear of failure is not laziness or carelessness. It helps INTPs understand they are trying to protect themselves, not hiding from the world. And once that understanding is there, it becomes possible to help the INTP move past fear and step forward, without losing their deep care and careful thinking. When an INTP wants to do something but feels scared to try, there are gentle ways to help themselves and others support them. The goal is not to push too fast, but to help them feel safer and more confident step by step. First, it helps to set small goals. Instead of taking on a big project all at once, they can break it into smaller, easier pieces. For example, if they want to write a story, they can start with one scene. If they want to try a sports move, they can practice it just once. Making things smaller makes it easier to start, and it builds trust in themselves. This is plain planning, and people who think deeply often benefit from this kind of step-by-step path. Another idea is to embrace mistakes as part of learning. Schools and articles say that when students see mistakes as helpful, they do better and are less afraid to try. For INTPs, thinking things through slowly can turn errors into new lessons that help them grow even more. It also helps if they share early versions of their ideas with a trusted person. A teacher, parent, or friend who listens without judging can help them feel less scared about making a mistake. That safe space can help them try bigger things over time. Writing about fear can help, too. Journals, notes, or even short lists of worries can help their mind understand the worry better. Research shows that writing feelings helps people become calmer and more clear. For people who care about an INTP, it helps to offer encouragement that focuses on effort, not just results. Instead of saying, "That is amazing," try saying, "It must have taken time and thought." That helps them trust the process and feel seen. It is also helpful to ask, "Would trying a small part help? Or do you want someone to look at your first draft?" That shows support without pressure. Finally, remind them that fear is not their enemy. It is part of caring. Their careful mind sees all the paths, and that is good. With kindness and small steps, they can use that mind to build courage, not just avoid mistakes. As the quiet thoughts begin to settle, something becomes clearer. The fear of failure for an INTP is not really about being wrong. It is about being misunderstood. It is about having an idea, a dream, or a plan that means a lot, and watching it slip through their fingers because it did not land the way they hoped. This fear lives deep inside, often hidden under jokes, logic, or silence. But it still hurts. Many INTPs carry this fear quietly. They do not always talk about it. Instead, they double-check everything. They rethink steps, they push themselves to do more, just so they do not feel the sting of disappointment. They want to build things that matter. They want their thoughts to count. And more than anything, they want to prove to themselves that they are not wasting their time or mind. But avoiding failure completely is not possible. Everyone makes mistakes. And sometimes letting things go wrong a little is how we grow stronger. That is a lesson that takes time. And for an INTP, it takes courage too. In the next episode, we will explore something closely tied to this fear. We will look at why INTPs often avoid conflict at all costs. Whether it is a loud argument, a heated meeting, or even a disagreement with someone close, many INTPs would rather walk away than speak up. Why is that? And what does it cost them in the long run? Join us next time as we step into that quiet space between tension and silence and find out what really happens when an INTP avoids conflict.